What's going on, guys? MJBC Videos here, back with another video, and today we're going to take a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa 25th Anniversary Wedding 2-pack, and this is a GameStop exclusive. If you do not have Lord Zedd already, this would be a good set for you, but if you do, you're going to have to double dip and get yourself another Zedd. But this time, this Lord Zedd is different compared to the previous release that was in Wave 1. This time, Lord Zedd does come with his more detailed nails, because the previous release did not have the painted silver nails, and his growth bomb happens to have more paint on it. Most people are getting the set because of the Rita figure, as there has not been much Rita figures in the past. And let's just talk about the packaging first. So of course, you have the nice art of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zedd on the front here, and it wraps around to Rita on the side with the Mighty Morphin logo. And then you have the back, which comes with a bio that says, "The horror of your presence is absolutely required at the marriage of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zedd." And it's funny because there's a bunch of languages and it says Rita Repulsa and Lord Zedd at the bottom, which I find very funny. And then here's a CGI render of the back, and there is Lord Zedd on this side. And there is the cool, very neat 25th anniversary insignia right here with the bells. So this 2-pack is based on the episode where Lord Zedd and Rita get married, which I believe is in season 2, or more towards the end of season 2 or the beginning of season 3. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. And now let's open this thing up and take a look at what's inside. Alright, and here we have them out of the packaging, and the FX piece has already fallen out, so I'm just going to toss it to the side here. So this 2-pack does come with more than the usual accessories that the other Lightning Collection figures come with, but let's take a closer look at these accessories. Alright, and here we have Lord Zedd and Rita out of the packaging. This is my first Lord Zedd, so I do not have the Wave 1 release to compare it to, but from what I know of, so the first release, he did not have the silver fingertips, so that's something they added in this version of Lord Zedd. And as for the Z staff, in the previous release, I saw in a review somewhere that the blade on the bottom was backwards, and it wasn't facing the right direction. So they did fix that on this Z staff. And the growth bomb that came with the solar release, this was just entirely silver, but they added the extra paint, which I really appreciate Hasbro for doing that. So good job on them for doing that. Might as well move on to his other accessories. So of course, like any other Lightning Collection figure, he comes with a closed fist hand and a grippy hand. And a call back to the episode where the Green Ranger lost his powers. This is the green crystal that Lord Zedd used. And I believe this effects piece can go on either Rita's staff or Lord Zedd's staff, so it doesn't really matter, but just your generic lightning effect piece, which already came with, I believe, Billy. I think Billy already had this effect piece, but it was in blue. Moving on to Rita, which is basically just the female Ranger mold. It's just covered up by this cloth goods dress that she has, and that's what makes this figure so unique, because she, in the show, obviously she's not a ranger, so of course she's not going to be wearing any spandex or anything, but I'm actually glad that Hasbro was able to pull this off, because they actually gave her like a real cloth material for her dress, because with previous figures her dress was just molded plastic, which heavily limited her articulation. But this Rita figure has to be the best one we've had yet, and I'm really impressed with this. Good job, Hasbro. Yeah, see the detail and everything. They did a very good job with their face sculpt, because usually with the older face sculpts for the older actors, they don't really do good. For example, Kimberly, that face sculpt is horrible, but they actually nailed this Rita face sculpt down. So good job, Hasbro. Props to Hasbro for doing a good job on this Rita figure. Just, they added like a lot of detail. Yeah, they did a really good job with all the detail and the paint. But I believe this silver over here is supposed to be gold, but I'm not sure, because Mighty Morphins this season I don't really watch that much, because I do get It is the original season that started it all, but if you try to watch it now, that season is very hard to watch because you know how Power Rangers is, or how it was back in the day. It was super cheesy, super corny. I mean, still is to this day, but Mighty Morphin is a whole different story. Because, well, I'm not a 90s kid, so I wouldn't understand. Yeah, and as you can see, they even added her gold rings on her fist. Or on her fingers, my bad. Wow. Very good job, Hasbro. Really impressed with this Rita figure. Okay, moving on to her accessories. She of course comes with her magic staff or magic wand. I don't know whatever you call it. Yeah. Of course it is missing some paint right here, but it has the detail for you to fill it in yourself. For all you customizers and painters out there. And of course she comes with their separate set of hands, which is open hand that you can probably pose her with Zedd holding hands and stuff. And then comes with a fist hand. And of course, as I said earlier, she does come with her bouquet of flowers and the love potion. And this accessory has to be my favorite because it is their wedding cake, and as you can see, they have a little Lord Zedd and Rita on top. You can try to paint that if you want to, but I'm probably not gonna do it because it's so tiny, and it's probably gonna be very, very difficult to get in there to fill in all those details. And it's just hollow. It's hollow plastic. But in that promotional video that they released a few months back, they said this was silver, or they showed it as silver, but this is just plain gray plastic, so I don't know what happened there, Hasbro. Moving on to the articulation, I'm gonna go back to Zedd over here. So of course, like any other Lightning Collection figure, you got the chest articulation, ab crunch, then you got the 360 arms, which is a bit hindered by the tubing he has, so I'm probably not gonna risk it. And then of course the double elbow joint, and then the wrist articulation, and then of course the leg articulation can go that much forward because he's a bit hindered by his sculpt, and he can't really go backwards actually. Yeah, he really can't go backwards. Of course the double knee articulation, and then there is no boot cut, obviously because he's not a ranger. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, these do come apart, but it's okay, you can just pick them back in if they do that. And it has a ankle rock that can go, dang, this joint is very stiff. Yeah, it has an ankle rock and can pivot and swivel and whatnot. And of course he can look up that far and down that far. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Zedd here. And of course Rita's gonna be a different story because she might be hindered a bit by the cloth dress she has. So of course she can kick forward that much, and yeah, she can kick forward actually. She can kick at a pretty good range. Can she kick back? Oh yeah, no, because she's hindered by this back piece right here. But I thought this was gonna be limited by her dress, but I guess that's not too bad actually. But then again, I don't think you need to have Rita in any extreme poses because we didn't see her doing much. From what I remember, Rita was always up in her palace, just sending down monsters and throwing her staff. She never personally confronted the Rangers herself. Moving on to the arms, of course. Well, she can technically go 360, but she is hindered by this neck piece right here. But she definitely has the same articulation as the female Rangers. She has a single elbow joint from what I can feel through the dress, but for some reason it doesn't want to articulate for me, or doesn't want to move. I mean, of course she has her wrist rotation though, and yeah, her articulation in the wrist. And that's pretty much it to Rita, to be honest. Oh, I almost forgot. She does have the ankle pivot and whatnot, and she does have the head articulation, but it is hindered by this headpiece she has. So not much articulation out of Rita, but you can get the articulation that's necessary since she didn't really do much in the show. So I have to say, I am loving this 2-pack of Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa. I really love how Hasbro really touched on the details of Rita's outfit, and I really liked how they made the slight improvements on Lord Zedd's figure and his accessories. And I just find it really neat that they included a lot of accessories that are callbacks to previous episodes other than the wedding episode. But yeah, other than that, I highly recommend this set if you are not just an MMPR completionist, but just because these two characters are as important as the Power Rangers. I do believe that you'll need these guys in your collection so the Rangers can have some villains that they can fight. And here is Lord Zedd and Rita alongside Goldar, and I have to say, it is really coming along now that I see that Hasbro is doing all of these villains, and I can't wait for them to do more, and I hope they complete the rest of Rita's crew, such as Finster, Squat, Babu, Rito. Like, I really want Hasbro to milk out all the villains from the Mighty Morphin line, because gosh, these figures look really good together. So do I recommend this set? Yes, I do, because these figures are really amazing. I just love how Hasbro put a lot of detail into it, and these guys are two major characters in the TV show, so I think you'd want them posed alongside your Rangers on the shelf. And for the $50 price point, I still think it's worth it, just because Hasbro put in so much thought into this set. And it is a GameStop exclusive, so go pick it up right now because there's a chance it might sell out. So that's pretty much all I have to say, guys. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Instagram. Links will be in the description below, and see you guys next time.